Take my stamp and I'm going to put it on. You can use any stamp pad, acrylic stamp pad. I just got a lot of paint on there. I'm going to have to wash it off. But I like to use this Fisker's stamp press because you can really get a good impression with it. So I'm going to put my large flower stamp on there. And the way this works is you push it down and you get really flat, and you can press with your fingers and get a good impression. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my stencil brush, and it's dirty, and that's okay, because when you use a dirty brush, then you get all kinds of nice color combinations that, you know, they're happy accidents, and they really enhance your painting. So I'm going to put some warm white out because I want to have a light color to stamp with, because I want it to show up on my modeled background. So I'm going to take my stencil brush and I'm going to pounce it in the paint, and then I'm going to pounce it over here in the blue and mix it together, which makes a nice light blue. Then I'm going to pounce it on top of my stamp. Now you can use a paint dabber to do this, but paint dabbers only come in so many colors, so I like the freedom of mixing my own colors. And I'm going to put this, I'm going to put it here. So I'm going to press down on it and lift up. And I'm not seeing it very well. It looks kind of like it blends in. So let's make it more white. So let's put our warm white back in it, back out here. And we'll pounce back over top and make this whiter. And it's had a chance to dry a little bit on the stamp, so I'm just going to spritz it, make it a little more wet, and let's try that again. We're just kind of playing this by ear, creating as we go, no really set plan. Okay, that shows up a little better, but I think I want to dry that, and let's go for a darker impression. Alright, let's pounce on the red. Now we do still have our white on there, so it's coming out kind of a pink. So let's see what we get this time if we get it to show up. Oh, there we go. Now one thing you want to remember is you want to wash the paint off of your stamp quickly, because you don't want it to dry on your stamp. But then you have to scrub. Okay, let's see. How else can we decorate? Let's go to this page. And I have a Flourish from that same stamp. So let's do this in the dark blue. Well, I'm actually kind of getting pink and blue because I'm still using that dirty brush. I think I want a little more blue because I do want it to show up. So I'm going to pour out some more blue. So we'll get that a little darker on there, and it's different intensities. It's not the same all the way. So let's put that right here. Now remember, we're also fighting against the texture that we put in, so you want to really squash it down in there. And I got most of it. Let's see if I can put it back on and get this. It's another reason I like this Fiskars press. It's a lot easier to go back on top of something that you've stamped and make it complete. Well, let's put some more paint on that edge. Let's see, it's this right here. Okay. And we'll go back down on this one more time. Well, I think we're fighting against the texture. So if you really want that to show up in blue, grab a brush, wet it. Now I'm using the Deco Arts Traditions brushes. Developed by artists for artists. And let's make this scroll. Okay. And let's do a little more. Okay. Now another thing I like to do is I like to make comma strokes, and they can be used to highlight just about anything or attention to anything. So I'm going to make a stroke. I'm going to press down, let the flare out, and then turn and lift. I have some videos that show you how to make strokes if you're interested. Press down, flare out, pull, and lift. Press down, flare out, pull, and lift. These will call attention to whatever they're pointing to. You always want to do things in odd numbers. So I'll put 3 comma strokes, but I'll never put 4. I'll put 5 or 7 comma strokes, but I'll never put 6. Okay, so let's make 2 more here, and we have a really nice flourish. Now I could do that without the stamp. Not everyone can, and I'm not that great at doing it without the stamps, but I can make a flourish. Let's see. I have to do it towards me though. The secret to that is to wind up your hand, because you're going to pull out and end up this way. So if you start out with your hand wound up, press down and around and unwind your hand, then you can end up with a nice flourish. Now again, I'm fighting against the texture here. I'll add some comma strokes. 3, not 4. 3, not 2. I have videos on how to make these flourishes and comma strokes. If you're interested, just get in touch with me and I'll be happy to point you to them. Okay, so we've got some decorations on our page. I think maybe I like to put a little bit down here, and I think I want to use some red in it too. So I've loaded my brush with red and blue, and I'm coming over here to my palette to blend. And then I'm going to load my brush. By pulling it this way, you never want to load your brush like this because it will break the hairs. So you go this way, and then you lift up, turn over, and go this way. Then you gently reshape your point. Okay, so let's make sure you see it. Let's make this center stroke and a side stroke, and sometimes you have to reload, so that's okay. You always want to make sure you have enough paint on your brush. You have to have paint in order to paint. And there's our texture getting in the way, so I'm kind of filling in. And then another thing that you can do is, those are all real nice flourishes, but you can do something to finish them off. You can take the end of a brush handle, put it in your paint, and, well, I didn't have enough, did I? Let's make sure I have enough paint. There we go, and you can make that dot. And let's make a blue one for our other set. There we go. Now I can come over here and make some dots. See, I can make one there, there. I need 3, so one right there. I'm sorry, you can probably not see that. 1, 2, and 3. And we'll go 1, 2, and 3. Always an odd number. Okay, so now we've got a lot of decoration on our pages. So then you can decide how to finish it off. You can decide to use maybe the cutout, or maybe some pictures, or maybe, and what I like to do when I put pictures on a page is I like to just throw them on there and then just kind of work with how they landed, like that. Of course, this one needs to be right side up. Oh, and so do these. Forget that I've got it pointed towards you. So, and there's an art journal page. And then we can put our ticket on it. I think I lost it. You can put a journaling block on it. Let me get another ticket. You can put some of these little tickets on it, ink around them, and put them on with your pictures.